Good morning. Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and joining us this morning to talk about such an important issue. I want to thank my friends here who represent different organizations who are sharing the concern that we have about the disastrous impact of President Trump's announced withdrawal from the INF Treaty. We face a greater risk of nuclear catastrophe today, now more than ever before in history. This threat of nuclear war is real. And President Trump's reckless decision to pull out of the INF Treaty heightens this threat by exacerbating the new Cold War, sparking a new arms race between the United States and Russia, and bringing us ever closer to a nuclear holocaust. The people of Hawaii know just how real this threat is. When just 1 year ago, a missile alert was sent out to over 1 million phones all across Hawaii, telling them to seek shelter immediately. And we had families who were huddled into caves. There was a father who lowered his daughter down a manhole into a storm drain, thinking this was the only place that she may possibly be safe. And a parent who was trying to choose which of his children he would spend the last minutes of his life with. The fact was there was no shelter to be found. So while this missile alert turned out to be false, it was a wake-up call for the people of Hawaii and for the people of this country. People of Hawaii, for those minutes, thought that those would be the last minutes of their lives. What the people of Hawaii went through serves as a wake-up call to everyone, because this is a threat that not only faces them, but it faces every single one of us in every single community across the country, because there is no shelter, there is no safe place, there is no refuge. We must take action to end this new Cold War and walk back from the abyss of nuclear war, because our very future is at stake. Over 3 decades ago, Presidents Reagan and Gorbachev negotiated this historic INF Treaty that helped to end the Cold War and reverse an out-of-control arms race and reduce the threat of nuclear war, moving us closer to peace. Yet President Trump recklessly announced that he wants to pull out of this INF Treaty, sparking a dangerous arms race, exacerbating a new Cold War with Russia, and undermining our national security. Walking away from this agreement doesn't solve our problems. It makes them worse. It doesn't bring us closer to peace. It moves us closer to war. So rather than scrapping the INF Treaty, we should be working to strengthen it, to expand it, to bring in other countries like China, and to pursue a diplomatic path that serves our mutual interests of peace. Rather than having the courage to lead and negotiate a stronger agreement, President Trump has decided to walk away. A decision that makes us less safe. A decision that fuels a new arms race that'll waste more taxpayer dollars coming out of the pockets of hardworking Americans all across this country. These taxpayer dollars will be used to pay for new arms and nuclear weapons that Trump wants to build, which means less money going towards serving the very real needs of our communities and our people right here at home. This is why I introduced H.R. 1249, to stop President Trump from escalating the new Cold War, to stop President Trump from sparking a new arms race, and to stop more American taxpayer dollars from being wasted on military adventurism that makes our people and our country less safe. The INF Treaty Compliance Act would ensure that our country remains compliant with the INF Treaty, prohibiting a single taxpayer dollar from being used for weapons that would breach this treaty. This is one step that Congress can and must take now towards our national security and peace. Congress must take its job seriously and must take action on behalf of the American people and pass this INF Treaty Compliance Act now. Our future depends on it. The well-being of our people and our planet depend on it. Again, I'd like to thank these advocates and experts for being here today and for their long-standing work in trying to move us away from nuclear war and towards peace. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Congresswoman Omar, Congressman McGovern, and Pocan also for joining this legislation. We look forward to getting more of our colleagues to co-sponsor this and urging quick action on the House floor. Thank you very much, and happy to answer some questions. Yes?
Sure. NATO, which is the U.S.'s historical strongest ally against Russian aggression, don't always agree with President Trump on many things, but they do agree with him on this. Why take a stand here, and what other kind of support do you expect to get from this?
We are taking a stand for humanity, we are taking a stand for peace, and we're taking a stand for our future. Walking away from this INF treaty, as Trump has announced, is a reckless move that makes our people and our planet less safe. Instead of walking away, we should be negotiating for a stronger INF treaty, for an expanded INF treaty, and that's exactly what we're calling for today.